Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen.
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 Can I please have your attention?
Now showtime, are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
Aloha, peoples. Good to see you. Welcome back. Yes, I am back in the studio, and yeah, it's all here. You can see everything's still in the Pelican cases, but we're gonna get it started. Also, you can see my voice is trash, so we're gonna run with this as is today. Before we get started, I needed to do something, but let me clear out a bunch of things that are in the way. First, I'm gonna open up a whole Chrome situation. It's kind of funny. I stopped using Chrome because it's horrible, but we need it for interview mode, a couple other things. So I always have to like relaunch Chrome now. But yeah, it's kind of funny that most people default to Chrome. It's their number one browser, but it's the worst one now. Safari is way quicker, but I understand there's things you can't do in Safari that you need in Chrome. And then for that case, use Edge or Firefox. They're both quicker. Chrome is a piece of cheese. All right, let me set this up real quick and stop messing with y'all. Okay. So I just want to cover a question that we had really quickly before we get into the rest of the demo. Oh, that's funny. Val said to turn on green screen because I have on green. Let's see what happens. I am now wearing a gray shirt. Everybody grab your glasses and drink because somebody asked a question that's never going to happen. We are Mac people through and through. There's lots of stuff out there for the Windows community. Try vMix. vMix is almost as good as us as feature-wise. Maybe parallel with us feature-wise, maybe even better than us feature-wise, but vMix doesn't come with my community. My community is unfadable, so yeah, that would be my best option if you're a PC person, but we're never going to Windows. Never, ever. I will be in a grave with people giving me flowers before there's ever a copy of Ecamm for Windows. There's that. I don't even try to be funny about it. It's just, it's really weird, right? For us, and you might be newer to computers, but it's really weird for us old school Mac people who always waited for apps to come to our side, and we always got no, right? Now we got the better apps. All the PC people are asking, oh, when is a Mac app coming to the PC side? And then so that's how they got resolved. That's how they got Premiere. We had Resolve and Premiere years before it ever went to the PC side. But it's funny to us. And as an ex-Apple employee, it just kind of feels good to be on the wanting side of this. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, Scott. Let me cover this real quick. Let me got this Chrome situation open. I'm going to show you guys real quick how to make a browser scene, and then you'll know how to do it, all right? So if I go here in my live demo mode, I'm going to just drop a brand new scene. As you see, my brand new scenes come up like this. Yours are going to look more like this. I just have a PNG in here of this cool background. Down here in the bottom, I'm going to select screen share. One looks like an iMac. I'm going to press that, and then I'll embiggen it accordingly, like such, right? Tell them again, Rob. Tell them again. It's really worth it. We're not trying to be funny. Sincate, I like that. And dude, that's almost my birthday, 9/12. It's almost worth buying a Mac Mini because you can buy one for $600. It's almost worth buying a Mac Mini just to do this. The same way you would buy. Okay, so you know you got samplers, right? So you can beat any keyboard in the game. But if you really want that Moog sound, it's better to buy an actual Moog than to use any of the weird samplers. In a way, it's kind of the same thing. It's almost worth buying a Mac just to do this. And I tell you what happens. Mr. Camera Junkie, who might be in the chat, a couple other folks like him, they went out and got Mac Minis just to do live and end up switching completely because they realized what they've been missing the whole time. But I know we have plenty of clients that have bought Macs just to do streaming because it's just a better look. All right, so we're going to be here, and then just I got to do this real quick so that hopefully we can copy this and help this person out. Somebody asked a question about in overlays.uno, how do they put in the logo? And I was wondering, I was wondering why that question even existed, because you just put in the logo. It's not that difficult. But I came to the conclusion that it's quite possible that if you don't understand hosted images, then this might not make any sense to you. Okay, so then in that case, I figure we can help you out. So you see right here in the middle of this bad boy, there is the St. Patrick's Day. And in order to put the image in, you have to basically paste in the link to the image that you want. So if I wanted to get an Ecamm logo, right, in that thing, there's no way for me to just grab an Ecamm logo from my screen and drag it in there, because that's not how it works. It requires a pasted image, right? Oh, sorry, take that back. Let me fix my English. It requires a hosted image. And I think I've just come to the conclusion that, people don't understand what a hosted image is. All a hosted image means is that the image has to exist online somewhere. So if I wanted to use this JPEG right here as that image, right, I can't pick this JPEG up and just drop it in the browser somewhere, because it doesn't really work like that, right? It switches to the JPEG. That's not what we're looking for, right? So you're going to go here. You're going to clean this out. You're going to take your JPEG and throw it to like Google Drive somewhere or whatever. I use a service called Droplr. It's free. I have a paid version because you know how I get down. I don't like free services because that means they're stealing your info. But I can go to Droplr real quick and then just drop this on there and then copy that link, go back over here, paste it in, and then it's good to go, right? Now, you can do your fit, fill, cover, whatever. I'm going to do fill, and then we're good to go. All right, so in a second, it should upload the image and put it there, and that will allow the image to basically replace itself. In certain cases, like for instance, this thing doesn't like the Droplr short link, so then you just got to go put it somewhere else. I have to think off the top of my head what would be another good place to host this. Google Drive might even work. Let me try Google Drive real quick. So I'll go to Google Drive. And then let's just make a whole brand new folder in Google Drive for images. And let's see, we'll click that, go in there, and then we can go back to here. Let me drop it in here. Dun, 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 dun. And then I think you have to give it permissions when you go to get link, right? You have to change it from restricted to anyone with the link, and then copy the link, press done. Let's see if that works. I still don't like it. Yeah, never mind that. In theory, that's all you got to do, but you're going to have to put it on a regular web server somewhere. So most people have a website that they run. You're going to have to stick it on a website and then grab the link from there. Unfortunately, I thought Google Drive would work, but it doesn't. But yeah, that's the simple case. You can't just copy an image in. You have to host the image somewhere that's reachable from a standard web link. And it's quite possible that you could actually do Google Sites, make yourself a fake website and put it there. But that's how you do it. Anyway, let's get back to the wrench. So, let me go back in here. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I still got my PCs because I use it. I use my PC to run my CNC machine. So I still have, there you go. Oh, one of our people, Miss Jill, she teaches Brazilian Portuguese using Ecamm on her channel. She's pretty cool. She's like basically fluent. All right, let's get into this. So Scott, here's simple. If you want a Mac Mini to run Ecamm, just get anything more than 16 gigs. 16 gigs or more RAM. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing to spec. Pick a Mac Mini. Make sure it has 16 gigs of RAM. Walk away. Done. The hard drive space is completely up to you. I wouldn't get the smallest hard drive ever. I just never do. And yeah, that's it. There's really nothing to spec. Just make sure you got 16 gigs of RAM or better. I don't even think you have that many options when it comes to Mac Mini. And the best Mac Mini for what you want to do is called the Mac Studio. That's the real deal answer. Right, Luis? Okay, anyway, so let's get into this. This is your scenes window, your overlays window, and let me move these preferences out the way. This is where you're basically going to start. So you think of your scenes as a room and overlays as furniture. I like to think of profiles as an individual house. So I got profiles up here for all myriad types of things, right? Then I go into my scene. I want to create a brand new scene. Again, I like my new scenes to start out with blank. That has something to do with over here. In preferences, it says default source mode is blank. You can make a camera or screen share. I think the only answer in the planet is blank because when you go to make a new scene, Command-Shift-B, you can see the keyboard shortcuts over there, right? I got a new scene, just like that, right? So if I'm here and I do Command-Shift-B, oh, that's making a blank. Hello. Sorry. There you go. Making a new scene. If I put my new scene here, it's blank. I have nothing there. If I want to add some sort of background, I can just pick up an image and make it a background. I can go to a bunch of different places to get backgrounds, but let's see. I could just drag this background in here and drop it. And then now this is actually an overlay, right? But what I want to do is drop it into the background area. You can see over here, look, fat fingers. It says show in background. So putting it back here places it in the background. If I put it up there, now it's an overlay, right? So down here, background. Up there, it's an overlay. Okay, so let's get rid of that. because I already have it. And I have a different one. All right. So now my next maneuver is come down here and drop on the camera. Right. So here's my camera situation. If I click on the pencil, I can select any one of my cameras. I can also select guest cameras, and I can select other devices that are plugged in. I have the ability to do shapes, already sort of built-in shapes. I almost always select custom because that allows me to shape accordingly, right? You can do anything you want. Also, you can do transition. So if I want to fly that sucker in from the left, if I turn the camera off, turn it back on, it slides the camera in, right? You can do anyway, left, right, up, down, sideways, totally up to you. I have the ability to adjust my corner radius, which makes it more round or, like that, more round, whatever. So I like to keep mine in here about like such, right? And then the same thing with the width. You can make the width bigger, smaller, none at all, right? I like mine about such. There you go. All right, so that's it for camera. You just place it where you want to place it. I'm going to go in the high line real quick and slightly bigger. And you'll notice I got these blue lines that kind of makes the camera snap into place. Now, if I feel I want to add another camera, all I got to do is come down here to my camera switcher and drop it in. Or alternatively, I can hold down the option key with this finger, drag a new camera across, get the same exact size, everything, right? And then in this particular case, all I'm going to do is switch that to be my guest camera. So that way if I'm doing an interview. So people, this is your brain on drugs, right? Every time we do a tutorial, no, it's not. Luis, talk to the man. No, it's not. It's worth every dime. It's worth every dime. Oh, yeah, that's good. You don't really need 32 gigs in a mini, but if you're going to do it, do it. So every time we do a show, somebody will see something online and be like, oh, how do I get a layout that looks like that? Make it, because it's not that hard. It is so easy to pull off just about anything you see on TV nowadays. You can kind of pull it off in Ecamm really quickly, right? So let me look for something real fast. I'm just going to find something, hopefully not get us in any trouble, but let me see if I can find something. Boom. All right. I got a perfect one. Boom. I found one. Hey, come back. Come back. I'm going to put this sucker on pause, right? I'm going to just take a screenshot of something that I found on TV, like super quickly, right? So let me put this on full screen. I'm going to pull a screenshot real quick just so you guys can see what I mean. And, of course, this is a little hard because of the gray, but we're going to ignore the gray. We're just going to use it for simplicity. Okay, so I got my screenshot. Let me come out of this full screen mode real quick. And then I'm going to get my screenshot as soon as I remember where the heck I put it. I adjusted on my computer where screenshots go, and then I forgot where I made them go to because I haven't been here for a minute. Oh, you're killing me, dude. Let's do this again. Sorry, people. I'm going to do a different type of screenshot using Shotter. I want to do capture an area and copy it. There we go. I got it. All right? So this is my screenshot right here. I just want to copy this. And then I'm going to make a new scene. And I'm going to paste this image in. Did it work? Oh, you're evil. me save this image. All right, got it. So I'm going to drop this in here. I'm going to show you how simple this is. Super easy, right? First thing we want to do, apply a camera, right? To make my job easier, I'm going to start with a guest camera just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put this in. I'm going to squeeze it to about that size, right? And then if I go to the pencil and switch this bad boy to custom, I can make it identically the right size. But we're not even going to freak out too much about that. We're going to just, sort of use this as a baseline, right? So now we got a little bit of base. So I'm going to grab another camera, put it right here, grab that, pull it up, boom. There's my guest too, right? Tap a couple arrow keys, get it over. I'm going to drag this down. Boom. There's my guest 3. So if somebody said to me, I want to make a layout that look exactly like ESPN FC, you can tell right now, like, we're talking seconds to do this, right? It's not even that hard. All of this part is together, right? So now, if I turn this mess off, I got my layout generally set up. So that could be that particular guest. Let me just make it look like it's a different guest. I mean, like it doesn't, I don't know why people, when do you buy these overlays? Don't buy one, make one. It's not that hard, fam. It's straight up not that hard. Like legit, real deal Holyfield, anybody can make this stuff, right? I am impressed, but here you go. Boom. 3 different cameras. That simple, right? If you wanted to make it so it's like more even because you're like me, then just do that. It doesn't have to be exact. It needs to look good. All right. So now I want to put that banner across the top, right? Then go generate yourself a square. Like legit, just go get a graphic file from Canva and call it a day. Right? So if I were to go back over here to this Chrome situation, right? I need a different place to put my little logo. I would just go to Canva and generate that file, right? Or you can just look for a background that already exists, right? So if I go PURPLEPACKGROUND, pow, right? I'm legit just in here searching for purple background. And let's take, you know what? Let's press on images. I don't even have to go to Canva. Like, I can't afford Canva. I'm that broke sauce. I'm not even going to afford to buy Canva. I'm just going to look for an abstract purple background and call it a day. Now, in this particular case, you're going to want to come over to size and select large. So you just immediately eliminate all the small ones, right? And I'll just take this one just because, all right? So when I right click on that, open image in a new tab. There's my image. Wow, that was small. Didn't mean to do that one. Go away, right? Open this image in a new tab. There should be a normal size. I'm just going to drag it to the desktop real quick, and then I'm going to drag it into my scene that we are working on, right? So I'm going to drag the image in. I don't want it to take over everything. Hold the Option key. Make it small. Put it right there. Put it right there. Hold the Option key up to about like right here. And then send it to the back. Boom. Right? That simple. That simple. I'm actually going to Option key it to about right here. Right? That's it. All I got to do now is throw in the logo and then game recognize game. I mean, at the end of the day, I could invent like that whole thing that they did. I could just invent it in seconds. So you don't have to freak out like, oh, because if I put my comment there will look similar to like where they had the score. I'm not talking about score. I'm talking about people. So I would just put Sandy up there and then bring Sandy a little bit bigger and then drop Sandy down to there. So when I turn that off, I'm good to go, right? So now my comments come up there. I got my name, me, and my guest. So let's go ahead and make some lower thirds, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna put Sandy back lower because I want my lower thirds to be where my lower thirds are. Okay, so you press on this plus key to get text, right? And inside the text, make a new line. Wow, bad fingers. Okay, now, I don't know if I told you this before, but I like to work my numbers in 8s. Don't pick random font sizes. Fonts, there's a reason for it. They like to be in sort of multiples of 8. Yeah, it's a difficult conversation, but the conversation is real. So find your font that you want, set it up how you want to do it, and then if you work in 8s, you'll be fine. It's just the way it is. All right, bam. So I got my thing. It's too big, but once you do it, you can size it. So I don't really use the font sizes in there more than just to get a basic, right? Then I'm gonna take this one, and actually let's do it this way. I'm not gonna worry about the fact that the rounding is slightly off, right? We're gonna just ignore that for now because it's less important. Boom. You can't have different size name blocks. So once you size the name block to your guess, then you come here, all right? And then I'll just put this as a hanging chat. Nah, I'm gonna make them even because that's just how people's eyes work, all right? So let me go up in here and then fix this. I like to type the new word in the middle of the old word because I had already set font patterns. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I do that. There you go. Bam. So then I can take this one. There you go. You know what I'm saying? You just built your whole entire show, and it literally, I swear, it's like 3 minutes tops. So don't feel that you need some kind of like special skill or whatever. Take a screenshot of the show you want to create, drop it in Ecamm as an image, start placing cameras, and put in text elements where they go. End of conversation. Like legit. In the conversation. That's it, right? So it's funny because I swear every time I see Kirk or Strict or anybody, like, oh, where did you get that overlay? I made it. It doesn't require anything special anymore, right? Here's another one that I do all the time real quickly is I go to my downloads. Let's see, where did I put it? Hopefully I put it somewhere easy to find. There it is. Boom. There's a Mac monitor and a Mac Studio since we are talking to Scott down in there. Canva makes this even easier. I was just saying this for the people because I swear to you, every time somebody complains that they don't have Canva or they can't afford it, I'm like, Canva's $12. If you use a educator, it's free. If you're a first responder, it's free. Like, just get Canva. Do yourself a favor. It makes all of this so much easier. All right, so I'm going to put this in here. Okay, once you got it lined up, drop it behind. Lock this bad boy in place. That's it, right? I mean, that is the entire shooting match. Like, not that difficult. Not that difficult at all. Just go and grab it. Boom. Pop this over here. You might even do something crazy like, I don't know, slap an Ecamm logo where the Apple logo goes. You know what I mean? And then now you can put your PDF somewhere, right? Maybe I'm explaining this handy guide. Normally in this case, I would reverse the size of these graphics, but that's it. It's legit that simple. Now you're here, you can change pages on these graphics. You know what I mean? You can sit here and do a whole entire course like this. So you're already set up and you're ready to go, right? Okay, so that covers your overlays. That basically does it. I'll be honest with you. I love Canva. I think Canva's dope. I have always used and always had Adobe Express before they started calling it Adobe Express. I think it's better. I've done live demos on that. But yeah. Anyway. Unfortunately, Sandy, I've been friends with Scott for a long time. So he knows. Just get the Mac Mini, Scott. You can do it. I mean, the Mac Studio. Let me stop messing with him. Anyway, so let me cover some other stuff real quick. We did that. Let's get an animated overlay type situation popping. So if I wanted to add an animated overlay, let's see this. I can drop this up here. And then there's my animated overlay. That's no different. I just want to remind you guys, down here on the bottom of these windows, you got the image, you got the animated image, you have screen share, you have new text overlay. These first three, like when you see me doing images, I just never press these buttons because they take too long. I just drag in and drag in. So it's the same thing. It's a Mac drag and drop. That's the answer. This is very much so. Storyblocks, Canva, Ecamm, Restream. Bam. Game recognized game. Game recognized game. All right. What's happening, Hank? Let's so that's a good look of animated image, but I do want to show you guys this before I forget, because I might forget if I'm here, right? People always ask us about like playing a video, right, from YouTube. So before we play this video from YouTube and get ourselves in trouble, let's play one of our own. Hey man, type faster. All right, so if I wanted to play Pumpkin's video from this morning, people ask us about playing a video. I was trying to think of how I want to say this. It is in my professional opinion, don't play the video live while you're live. It is in my professional opinion that you should download the video and run it that way. People are hard-headed, or let's be honest, lazy and don't do pre-production. So in that case, if you're going to play a video live, this way is just a simple screen share. And then, let's jump to a section where Pumpkin is talking. And then if you want, you would come over here and make sure you're in theater mode, which I did. And then what you do is hold down the Option key and crop the window tight. I swear I hate when it does that. It's only this machine loves to do that to me. Anyway, hold down the Option key and crop the window in tight to the sections so you don't really see a lot of the interface, which is cool, right? That is one way to skin a pumpkin, right? So I can go back to here. And then, of course, if I were to play the video, it works, right? Now, I have it muted, so the sound's not going to come through. But
20p maximum. I
You
don't know
can
why
hear
they've
the
got
video.
that limit, but that's the
Okay. I have my audio routed through a Rodecaster Pro. The way that I can hear the sound is differently. If you don't have a Rodecaster Pro, you're going to have to do, you're going to have to figure out your interface. Like every interface has a different way to do routing. Rodecaster Pro 2 makes it super easy, like ridiculously easy. So anyway, that's playing, sound works, everything is gravy. I don't think you should do that though. It can be problematic. Let me show you a second way to do that. I'm going to copy this URL to the video. I'm going to temporarily 86 that window. Then I'm going to come down here to web widget, right? You guys can see down here in the bottom, there's a little globe. I press on the globe, right? There is my URL. I'm going to paste it in. And then I'll just press high resolution mode, keep running, press go. So now there's Pumpkin. He's in there, right? Super cool. Press theater mode, boom, get a bigger Pumpkin.
using the multi-stream built.
You see, it just works. You got to be attention to, on the bottom, there's this finger. Turn the finger off, you can move the file. So, or the overlay, sorry. And if I bring this over here, like such, I can even, I wonder what happens when you hit full screen in here. You got to turn the finger back on to interact with it. There you go. And then turn the finger off to move it around. So now I got the finger on. I'm going to press on settings and take it off of 360. Oh, you know what? That just happened this morning. So it's still processing probably. Yeah. Yeah, that one's probably still processing. So it's going to be 360 for now. But anyway, if you're going to do it like this. Do it as a web widget. Play that sucker like normally. And remember, just this finger means I'm operating the overlay. And then if you turn it on, this means I have the ability to activate the file. You see what I mean? So like I can scroll in, pick another topic, add a comment, all of the above. So that's the better way. But in reality, download your videos, people. Downloading your videos will make your life a heck of a lot easier. I know, right? MTD, we're so busy, didn't have time. This came from singing. This is where it came from. Came from karaoke night. Not karaoke, damn it. Yeah, good question. The Mac Studio, even if it was an M1 version, would be dope. But if you can wait, my guess is it'll be before August. My guess is it will be in time for WWDC, which is June. But either way, it's coming. Left, right, or indifferent, it's coming. Yeah. Is there a way to overlay a tweet from Twitter? Sure. Probably like 1,100 different ways to do that. Let's go find you one. Because this is literally a matter of searching, right? So let's turn off the widget. Let's go back to where my browser was. And then, actually, I'll just make a new one. Go here, primary display, Chrome. Put that over there like such. I forgot what I use, but I use this thing. It used to be called TweetPics. It still is called TweetPics. Hello. I thought it was called that. That's what it's called. So yeah, you just come over here to TweetPics. Let me open up Twitter on my computer real quick. And then there it is. I'll go to me. Nope, I don't want to be notified because of Twitter. I'll go to me. My profile-y, and then I had what I thought was hilarious tweet. Here we go. All right, so this is my tweet. You just need the link to this tweet, which It's super easy on the web. I don't know if there it is. Grab that. I'm just copy the link, then come back over to TweetPic, paste in the link, press enter. There's my image, right? Now, you can do background. Some of these guys are going to charge you money to do various things. Some of them are free. It kind of just depends on the program. But, man, that ain't purple. There you go. That's close enough. And then you just go to text primary and change it to white. Boom. In the story, right? And then so you go ahead and download this pic. I'll do it as a PNG. And then super funny because they say, well, in order to see this, you're going to have to, if you're going to have a, what the thing is called? Man, I don't know why my brain don't work. If I drop this in over, drop this in over here. Let me go to a different scene. Make a new one. Throw the camera. If I were to drop this here, there's my tweet. And if you don't want to see that TweetPic thing, they tell you to pay $9 a month to get rid of it. And I'm going to show you a better way to do that. And just because it's simple. Open it up in preview as it will. Grab this square right here. Go copy, paste. There. Same. Done. So it's funny. If you're going to watermark something, people, have enough common sense to watermark it good. There you go. So that's how you can display a tweet without taking a screenshot. Way doper. And you can do some really cool stuffs. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Let's do this live. We're not Elgato, so we don't program things like that into the program. If you're having that problem, it's probably an Elgato problem more so than the us problem, but let's just do it just in case. Because, unfortunately, we're not Elgato, so I'm not. First of all, check to see if you're on the latest update. So we'll do that real quick. You should always make sure your stuff is updated. It's going to take a second. Do I have my watch? Watch not working. All right, done. Boom, it's in there. So, let's just take this and go down to Ecamm, and let's do add last comment, drop it right here, and then replace that, add last comment. Super simple. So now, I press the button. Nope, no white pixels. So, that's not an Ecamm thing. That's a Stream Deck thing. Now, what's that word out? Yeah, that's a Stream Deck thing. So support.elgato.com. But yeah, that would never. I mean, honestly, that would be nothing. That would never be. I wouldn't say never, but that wouldn't be something we would handle because we don't have a preference for it, right? Like, there's no preference that says go to Stream Deck and adjust what the avatar looks like, right? We don't have that setting anywhere in the program. So it would just have to be bad coding. But let's be honest, you can't get to Ecamm and what it does with bad coding. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't get to Safari and what it does with bad coding. So most apps that are pretty feature-rich apps, Photoshop, Illustrator, Ecamm, OBS for that matter, like whatever, when you see an anomaly like that, it's normally not that app's problem because the person who made that app isn't that horrible at coding because they could never get to the app that they're actually selling if they were bad at coding. That little white lines or whatever around an item tend to be bad coding. You can also just have a person that had a bad overlay, a bad avatar, and that would be out of your control. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, see? No, it's not bugging. That's a good question because you would want to know where it comes from. But I just want, as all of us are users, as you guys start learning this tech stuff, one of the things you should always think about is, this might be hard for you to think about because you're not a programmer, but I always think programmatically, how would somebody write that error into the code, right? So people say, well, it was working fine with this particular, cam link, and then I added 2 more cam links, and now it doesn't work. Ecamm must be broken. We don't have any code inside Ecamm that says you can't use more than 1 cam link. We would never even think to address that problem because what? We don't make cam links, right? So it's funny. I swear to you, and we don't care, by all means, ask us questions. People ask us how to support their printer. I'm like, but they do that because we actually are around, right? So by all means, ask, but understand we might not know the answer. Simple. Somebody asked me a question today about ATEM and sound. I'm like, I don't own an ATEM, don't make ATEMs. Your better question is for Blackmagic, designs, but they'll ask us because we're around and, we show up every day. So you're okay. You're totally able to ask the question. I might not just have an answer for you. What do you mean? When I bring the comment directly in the broadcast, it does not do that. It only does that when I bring in through the Stream Deck hotkey. I would completely uninstall and reinstall Stream Deck. Simple. Now, you can save your profiles so you don't have to recreate them, but my guess is I would uninstall and reinstall Stream Deck and see what happens. Again, I could be wrong, and Midori will eventually let you know if you need to send logs and Ken and Glenn figure something out. I don't think that's on us. I think that has to do with the Stream Deck. Can you show how to do multiple YouTube comments on screen at one time? Just drag them up there like that. That's it. That is all you got to do. Just drag them up there. If you click once is going to go. If you want another one, just pick it up and drag it up there. And then you're good to go. And that way you can also put it wherever you want to put it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Now, this is what you do have to understand. When we drag the comment in like this is our API, right? When you do this is their API. They chose to do their, like I said, that's an Elgato thing. They chose to do their API that way. So here's what I would do if I were you, and let's just test this theory. Okay. Let me go to configure Stream Deck, and let me delete this. All right. Now I'm going to go to hotkey. Nothing to do with Ecamm. I just want to do a hotkey. Right? I'm going to drop it in there. And then let's just call it. No, what is my hotkey I'm going to assign? Command K. Okay? So now it's live. If I come back here And if I hit Command K, that puts up Glenda, just like that. That was with my actual keyboard, right? And if I use this, I don't have it set up to trigger hotkeys, and nor do I want to do that. But all that would do is replace my Command K with the Command K. So the Command K response is different from doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hopefully you're getting that. I hope you get that, right? Like, it's slightly different how you do it. This is just me. And I have to ask, like, generally, please answer this question. Is it that much faster to press a button on the Stream Deck than to click this? I mean, really? And it's just me. I just want to know. Because I've never added that add last comment to my Stream Deck, nor do I ever use the hotkey to do that, because I like to click them. But I just want to know, maybe if you're doing your stream, depending on how fast that is, that might be a thing. But yeah, it's definitely different. And I don't know why. And I will double check with them to make sure that somebody gets back to you. But yeah. Can you control the browser side from Ecamm? And I just showed you that. Let me do it again. Ow, pay attention. I literally just showed you that. Let's do it again. All right, so let me come over here and let's go to, I'll do the whole tweet pick thing again, right? So let me block that. Let me grab another tweet. I'll do the whole tweet pick thing as a browser. All right, so let me click this here tweet and come here. Copy this link. All right, so look, I am going to do a widget. And in this widget, I'm going to do tweetpic.com. Give it a second to think and hopefully load, and maybe it just loads slow. If this doesn't work, I'll pick a different one. Man, that one loads mad slow. It might be loading slow because this is a standard Chromium setup, and they might be using some weird kind of like ads or something else that kind of like messes it all up, right? So let me just pick a whole different one because that one's dumb. All right, so let me grab this. Sometimes if they have pop-up windows or something like that, it will mess up a widget. Okay, so there's that. All right, so as you see right now, Al, this is just a widget overlay. I can't do much of anything. If you come down here on the very bottom, there's a hand, which means allow you to interact with it. So now that I'm interacting with it, I can actually click in here and get a URL to paste. There. So it should go from there.
Okay, I found this on the web.
I'm not talking to you.
Check it out.
All right, so it's pulling the image. So from there, I mean, like, I have full access of this page. You see what I mean? So as long as you come down here and select on the finger, you're literally operating it as if you're operating a page. So this is good if you're teaching how to do something online. So there's that. Yes, it's exactly right, Kevin. And I get that. And again, that's why our community is dope, because we try to help each other out. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, you should check the manufacturer of the thing you're having a problem with, because they have way more control over the problem than we do. Yeah. You always got to make sure you're on the latest update, because it just really, a lot of times those minor updates are the minor things that they fix like that. And yeah, I really don't know why there's a difference, but I don't do it like that. So that's why I never noticed that. So you just showed me something today. I just clicked this. It's way faster to me. So anyway, moving on. We covered that widget situation. Let's do clocks real quick. As you guys can see, I had a clock running in the bottom. You can do it as a countdown. So there's a countdown like such, right? You can do it to a particular date and time, right? So we can do like 3/31. We got 14 days away, right? You can do a standard clock, which I had running all day in the bottom, right? Or you can also do a stopwatch, which is cool, right? If you're doing some kind of cool thing. The original one is more like a timer. So if you go back to the top, you can set it like a timer. And then now it's just going to count down. So options, go to the next scene when finished, if not, or auto start, if not. Completely up to you. All the rest is just all about fonts and colors and things of that nature. Also down here in the bottom, we have widgets, which you guys have kind of seen, but let's do another type of widget. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to leave this box open for a second, but let me go back to the browser side and then delete that. Just do a standard share. It's always better if you actually share the actual browser instead of just the screen. You get a little bit more control. So if I go into this overlays.uno, I don't want this St. Patrick's Day overlay. Let's think of something else. Ooh. Social loop ticker. That is cool. Let us do that. We'll do YouTube and there's different ones. I got it. Now I got it. Let's do. Let's do the top one. Just keep it simple. Try this overlay. All right, so we go to try this overlay. Move this out the way over here. Now, Paul will give you the link. It's basically overlays.uno. But anyway, so you can go here and you go your Discord handle. There's what's your default text, right? And then let me do that. Where is my Discord? So I'm gonna just paste in my Discord text, and then you got email address. Right? I'm going to just do a couple of these real quick. Right? Mine are all the same, so it's pretty simple. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that there, and you'll see. Now, if you want to go and change the autoplay, how long to display each one, what the colors would look like, and then you can decide like how many panels you got. All I need to do is copy this output URL, and then come back over to Ecamm. And then I'm going to press on this widget. Let me 86 the Discord real quick. Press on the widget and then paste in the link. Right? And then I like to hit high res and keep running. That's just me. And it's going to pop up, and there is my widget. I'm using the option key to crop it to size. Make it slightly bigger. Right. And of course, I did these all wrong. So Discord, I'm going to take off the other word handle. And then See if I throw in some at marks. These all work. LinkedIn I'll fix later. But you see, it's super simple. You just come in here and add the ones you want to add, and then they will sit there and just run. So this is how you work an overlay. Super cool stuff. Again, you can crop tighter if you want. Just find a place to put it. But it's real simple. Now, what's really cool about this, if you have an assistant or somebody that helps you, all you have to do is copy this second URL, and I can send the second URL to somebody like Paul in my old text chat message over here, Paul Duncan. And then I can paste it in, and then Paul can completely make changes to the whole setup for you on the fly. So for those of you who have producers or assistants or whatever, this is why Overlay.Uno rocks. But that's widget overlay in a nutshell. I know most people think of them as a little Snapchat, not Snapchat, as a super chat things and stuff like that. Not a fan, so I'm not going to teach it to you. If you want to learn that, you got to ask someone else. I don't want to teach that anymore. I have a video in the channel that shows you how to do it. I don't want to teach it anymore because I don't like going to streams where it works. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's cover a couple other stuff real quick. Let's go into the screen share overlay, and let's pick up levels. Boom. Here's your sound levels. Again, man, I'm telling you, the most useful key in Ecamm is the option key because it allows you to do coolness like this. All right, so I got my sound levels up here, and you can see that Rodecaster Pro is operatoring, right? If I do, it works. If I stop talking, I wanted to show you that. If you have lots of background noise or whatever going on in your space, when you're silent, that thing should not show a peep of green. It should look just like that, right? Also, when you're doing an interview, if the guest is talking, whatever you have on the top, whether it's Rodecaster Pro, Scarlett 2 Eyes 2, what's this thing called? MV7, Yeti, I don't care what it is. If your guest is talking, your top line should not flicker. That's what you're looking for. If your guest is talking and your top line is moving, you probably have duplicated sound or slapback. It's not echo. You understand? So just want to make sure that folks know that. Paul, I'm not sure if you are busy, but if you call in, maybe I can show them in real life. It's funny that I just said on the countdown about the 31st. I just got a text from my dentist. I have a dentist appointment on the 31st. Anyway, yeah, so if we get a chance and Paul can call in, or Luis, whichever one of you guys is cruising, if you can call in real quick, I can show people on like the whole interview sound trick. Because when I almost guarantee you, if someone says that they're getting double audio, you can just look at this top line. If they're both bouncing, then you're set it wrong. Okay, so Paul is calling in, right? You can see right here, it says, better call Paul. If I go ahead and press this, there's Paul. Before I bring him in, let me go to copy this scene right here because I want to keep a copy of this. Copy that. Go to this scene here. Man, where did I do with it? There it is. And then I'm going to paste this here. Oh, I see. Now you want to be goofy. All right. Boom. I'm going to put this right here so you guys can see. Now, in my camera section, in my camera overlay right here, I'm going to put Paul there because that's what I always do, right? And then now you can see there's a little flicker in Paul's thing because Paul has his fan on or his heater or his cat is purring next to the mic. But in theory, if your stuff is correct, you don't have any bump. But you can't really hear that, so not a big deal in this case. But I just want you to know, if I stop talking, Paul's doesn't move.
And if I talk, mine only moves.
You see that? So Paul is coming in, and Paul is you know what I mean? Whenever Paul talks, only that comes in. Now, I know what this green is bumping, because you're also monitoring the stream on another device somewhere, and it's slightly picking up by the mic, but we can't really hear it, so don't worry about it. But that's how you can know when you got your thing set up properly. Whenever your guest talks, yours doesn't move. Hey, Paul.
Hello. Welcome back.
Yes. Did you guys ever notice that we both have Oakley glasses? Anyway, that works. So, yeah, super, super cool. Other things that we can do. You notice I keep my interview thing down here in like the middle section. I also have some control over here. So if Paul was loud or soft, I can adjust over here in the side, inside the interview panel. There's an adjustment to Paul's volume. And then I could even adjust the overlay if I wanted to. I don't think anybody that we know uses these, but if you wanted to, you could put that on. That only kind of helps when you're using the real, base camera situation. But the cool things to pay attention to is that you can see I have a little marker here. This means that I'm getting an isolated recording of Paul. Let me adjust that. This little cassette icon means that I'm getting an isolated recording of Paul. So only Paul is being recorded, except Paul's not bald. I seen that out the corner of my eye. What are you talking about, David? That's funny. I also have this little magic Harry Potter thing. If I press that, I can make adjustments to Paul's, camera situation. Again, I normally don't mess with these things. I tell people, well, we can make it like Paul's time accurate because he grew up in black and white TV. Actually, so did I. So I should stop that. Right? We can adjust like this. I normally don't mess with those things. Now, what I can do is go into zoom and pan and make Paul slightly bigger and center him differently if I wanted to do something like that. And then I could click on, say, my camera C. I'll switch it to that one and do my zoom and pan and then make us more like normal. We're never going to be normal, but make us more even. Right? So that's some of the options that you can do. And yeah, it's really cool. Now, one other thing, down here in the bottom of my interview window, I can click this little chat bubble and I can ask a question, boom. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, Paul. But I can send, no one can see that but Paul and I, right? Well, you guys can see it because I'm in live demo mode. But Paul could also send a message back, and then I could also do like, right? So if I were going to, ask Paul a question and then put Paul to like a full screen situation, I could just run away, go to the bathroom real quick, and no one would ever know. No one would ever know. Now, so here's another cool situation. Just in case you guys don't fully understand, what do we mean by remote producing? Okay, so I knew Maestro would show his ass up. Every time. Maestro's like, Paul's talking to Doc. Let me come over there. Look at the tail. Damn it, Maestro. Every time. Maestro's like, oh, Paul's paying attention to somebody else.
Doc's on. It's tail time.
And so when we talk about remote producing, this is super simple, right? Let's just say Paul is not another Paul. It's a different Paul. If I put this Paul over here, that Paul over there, I could be completely gone and running the show. You know what I mean? So if I were to go back to this scene over here, all I need to do is supplement Paul. And then if I went to this scene over here, all I need to do is supplement Paul. And this scene over here, all I need to do is supplement black and white Paul. And then now I am running the show, but I'm not physically there. You know what I mean? Paul would be doing his show, his guests. Oh, wait, we need to change this one to Paul too. This is, oh wait, that didn't work. Anyway, I could just fake it. Oh, I know why. Hold on, let me do it again. I love the fact that when you do this, you just drop in how you can just replace the camera. Why are you not replacing the camera? Anyway, I'll just do it this way. Then put that back. There we go. I know why I had it locked. That's why. Anyway, so I can completely do this show. Paul's now the host. I could be back here just responding to commands and going through all of these scenes and not even be there. And now we got Paul over here. We can just throw Paul into one of those and then throw the overhead camera into one of that. All right? Super simple. And then flip this overhead camera because it's upside down as always. Boom. And you never have to see me. I can be completely missing from this program.
You've been replaced.
Look at the lower thirds.
Freaky Friday.
It's Freaky Friday. Oh my God, I remember that movie. So that's how you would do a remote produce. We do this every Tuesday because Katie and I call Luis. Luis runs the show, and then that leaves us hands available to do whatever. So going back to Unquestionable TV's point, if it's really like I want to not worry about pressing those buttons, just call one of your friends and have them run the show for you while you just talk and leave your hands available because you're like Anna and you're just swinging the hands around. You can leave your hands free and somebody else can control the whole showgram for you. And you don't have to do anything. You can just be gone. You know what I mean? So that's another cool way to do that. Woo! Let me see. So don't forget, you got your voice chat thing here. And then also in your, you can add your graphics here. So if you notice on mine, I have it set up where I'm like, prepare to take flight. Please engage headphones because I can't stand when folks come to my show with no headphones on, right? That's just my show. No headphones, no guests. Beat it. But my guests don't like headphones. Then your guests don't want to be your guests. It's so simple. You're in charge. It's your show, right? I always use dark mode because that way the lighting from the browser doesn't affect the lighting on camera. So I always use dark mode. I do private chat. That's what we did here on the side. I do allow Paul to see the viewer comments, and I allow Paul to see the viewer count because I had nothing to hide. I don't know why people are creepy about that, but whatever. And then no audio processing, right? Just leave it like that. Just, your life will be so much better. Just tell your guests to wear headphones. Super simple. Okay. And then you can, change this, put whatever logos. That's all up to you. And that's the interview mode in a nutshell. And then, man, we could run through 15 hours with 3 Diana streams.
Yep.
We have 15 hours of interview left. Send the email to Paul. I'd love to get your input. Oh, wait, you're talking to Paul.
Uh-huh.
Were you guys trying to test the avatar thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guarantee you, is it all avatars or just one?
That's the part I don't know. So
are you
that's
testing
why
it with
you
only one person watching? Because it's not going to prove anything. You need to have at least 5 or 6 people with different types of avatars.
yeah. Great thing when you have situations like that is doing screen shares and then posting it in the groups so that we see different versions and then we can kind of give a better answer.
Is this question in the group somewhere?
No. It came up this morning in the advanced and we came over here.
Is there a video of this? Is there a live show? This is a question for unquestionable. Don't tell me I can't question you. I'm going to question you. I'm joking. Is this a video? Does the video exist in real space? Or is this just in your test environment because you didn't go live because you're fretting on whether that was going to make the show somehow imperfect. Now we're getting into the doc coaching section.
No, they do have videos on their channel.
Okay, so does it show up in those videos?
That's a question for them.
But I can't question them, so I'm questioning you. It says unquestionable TV. I'm teasing. If we can see it live, like whenever you ask for something like that, by all means, it's better if you physically show us an example, because half the time it just gets lost in the question. Let's be honest, right? I could ask Karen something. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and she'll look at me like I'm out of my damn mind. I'm looking it up. So yeah, if you're live now, cool. I'm gonna look. I can see. I can see. All right, so let me mute that, and then I'll make a comment. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do this. Yeah, that's my, I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't see any white pixels.
There's a square. I think that's, I wonder if that's, because that's coming in from the API. See, it depends on how you're bringing it in as to what you see around the, because
yeah, but it's
some
okay, watch this though. On your particular case, it's white around the outside of you, right?
But see, in one it's square and one it's round.
That's the API, and your viewer doesn't give it.
That's what I was saying. It's the API.
Your viewer doesn't care. If you're whatever value you're bringing to your viewer, they're not going to be like, I cannot receive this value because the API doesn't know how to treat PNGs. That is an API issue. That's not even a Stream Deck issue. That's an API issue. It's even different on Restream and OBS and Stream Ninja. Like each one of them handles it differently, and it's just the API. And again, anybody watching your show doesn't give a hill of beans. Not one.
And the thing too is if you're bringing it in from YouTube like that, you see there's two variations. If you don't want the square one, just bring it in so that the round one shows up. You know, however you're bringing the round one in, use that.
The round one comes up when you click here.
Yep.
Right? But I'm a designer too, and my users still don't care. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I'm a longtime designer, Adobe instructor, Illustrator, Photoshop instructor. My users don't care. The funniest thing to me is the stuff that I would spend hours tweaking on to make it perfect. Clients never notice. And the stuff that I spent 5 minutes on, they would be like all freaked out. And it's, yeah. But yeah, your people don't care. Just, that's nothing, that's not an Elgato thing. That's not an Ecamm thing. That is legit just the way the API works. And weirdly enough, we do it, Restream and StreamYard do it, OBS does it through a bunch of hacks, but most of the other platforms don't do it at all, so they're not going to, they're not in a hurry to fix it, because it doesn't affect the overall user experience of YouTube. Yes, now I get what you're talking about. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
There you go. Let me do this.
And I've been on streams where, you know, they've been all different. You know, there's and different platforms do different things.
Oh, multi-streaming will definitely cause this issue, because multi-streaming, each API is completely different, right? So yeah, but see, it's because Unquestionable TV went out of their way to make their avatar look swanky like such. And so when you go like this, it looks goofy, right? So I understand that And I think I ran into the same thought press way back in the day when I first did mine. So you'll notice that I made mine purposely have a white background because then I never have that problem. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So on the Ecamm one or the Ecamm one, it doesn't make a difference because I purposefully put a white background because I realized the API was broken. If it was me, I wouldn't have any background and it would be the shape of my head. So if I were to go back to this stream and then throw it in Aloha, so if Unquestionable put my last comment up, if it was up to me, it'd be a straight PNG completely cut out about my head and there'd be no square or circle. You know what I mean? It would be the shape of the actual avatar. But it doesn't, API doesn't know how to do that. And I think they probably do that out of pure browser compatibility as well. In order to see like that. So if it was up to me, it would just not even have that white space. But I put the white space there on purpose. It's going to make it, yours is fine, right? Yours is going to come out as your whole picture. So the way you added it to Google, it's going to come out as a whole picture. You know what I'm saying? Same like this. Well, too late. We don't care about CPU. CPU is not important anymore. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I was thinking GPU. Well, I just read that. I meant we're basically all CPU. You want an M1 or an M2, period. End of story. Nothing. That'll be the best in any way, shape, or form you can squeeze it. M1 or M2, you're square. We don't have APIs. It's what I mean by the API is by this. This, the YouTube live chat API. That's completely up to them. So it's also why I'm not multi-streaming right now, so I can't really show you. But it's the way that it's complicated. It's the way YouTube handles their assets. So it's not really anything that we have any control over. Let's put it that way. Because Facebook would do it differently, and other platforms will also do it differently. I'm going to find this video. Hold on. I got it. Where is it at? Go to my downloads. Okay, here we go. I got it. That's not how it works. Just take that thought process out of your head. That's not how it works. It's complicated, but yeah. Anyway, let's get to the end all story. Your audience doesn't care. Let's just leave it at that. That's the best answer. Here you go. Looking for a brand new machine for your streaming contention? Let me hip you up to the game. Let me introduce you to Streamer's Law. Streamer's Law stands as follows. If you're looking at a brand new Apple Mac computer for your streaming systems, always get the 16 gig if possible. 16 gigs or more if the money is right. 8 gigs will do if the money is tight. Only do the 8 gig option if that's all you can afford. Honestly, because you want to future-proof your game so that you can run your set longer and do more complicated streams. If you're trying to keep your stream simple and you're not going to do a lot of craziness, 8 gigs will absolutely do. And that, my friend, is Streamer's Law number 2. Look, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Check out, we got more Streamer's Laws coming for you. Aloha. Well, that allowed me to do 2 things at once. answer this question and show you guys how to run a movie. Just drop it in there. But that's a full screen movie mode, right? So when I do this, it ends up switching to full screen movie mode.
Are you in the market looking for
like
brand
that,
new machines?
right? I have control over the volume right here. I have the ability to do nothing, loop the video, go to the next scene in the broadcast. And I can always start from the beginning or start from the last position. And what does that mean? If I were to leave this scene and
Are
come
you in
back,
the market looking for a
it
brand
starts
new
all over
machine
again.
for your stream?
If I go
Funny
here
is-
and then say start from the last position, if I leave the scene,
Only do the 8 gig option if that's all you
it's
can
going to
afford.
come back there, right? So that's just so you know. And then you might get the picture-in-picture thing. You can turn that off, right? You can. This mutes the microphones so that you never hear us talking over the video. So that's your movie option in general. I particularly don't like that option, okay? So let me go back to this. What I tend to do is convert them into WebMs. I know while I was talking, Paul was searching for the the link to the WebM video. I like to convert them to WebMs because that allows me to drop them in as an overlay like such.
Hey everyone, it's Shelly from Shelly Saves the Day.
In which case they're an overlay. I have control. I can move them around. I can design around it, so forth, so on, and etc. So yeah, there's the answer to that question. And Jamie, I hope that answered your question. Yes. Yes. Paul, did you block Rich?
No, I didn't. I know better. He would come after me. He's bigger than me.
Well, Eric, that's. I got to
can if he
remember that.
wants.
No. This is one of those situations where I have to remember that people don't know, but you should know because it's a very important statement. Safari is the best browser in the world, hands down, point blank, nothing better. Why? Safari has amazing security. Your information will not get leaked. You're thinking about mattresses and you click on a single mattress page will not in turn your entire Instagram and Facebook feed and every other site you go to into more mattresses. Those problems come from Chrome. Safari doesn't do that because they don't allow tracking and they don't allow secret scroll information stealing unless you give them explicit permission. Because of that level of security, you can't use this level of AV tech. So Ecamm Live technically has jack all to do with Chrome or Safari. As a matter of fact, you can do interview mode in Firefox. You can do interview mode in Brave. You can do interview mode in Orion. You can do interview mode in Tor. You can do it in all kind of browsers. You can't do it in Safari because of the security that's in Safari won't allow for the way that you need to access the microphone and the video camera the way you need to access it. So if it was, I would tell you, unless you're really good at your own personal security, I would never open a Chrome browser ever. But me personally, I do know how to tighten my Chrome, so I do have my Chrome locked down. So go ahead and get yourself your Chrome, but go to YouTube and search for a video on how to lock down Chrome to make it more secure, and then there you go. But yes, we all know Chrome is problematic, but it's kind of the best for wild style and willy-nilly. It's kind of like people of a certain age, and I'm going to check Eric's avatar real quick. Yep, he's old enough to get this. If it was up to me, we still would have small block Chevys or, like the old Boss Motors or, 351 Hemi, Cleveland, Windsor, because they were just better. And you could do whatever you wanted. You can get in there, make adjustments, throw in some, hooker headers or Edelbrock carbs, and, you can go to town. You could really build your car. But the modern day car, even thus, most of us can't fix because it's too locked down. Everything is tied to, exhaust computers and timings and things like that. So you can't adjust your thing 4-degree offset top dead center anymore. It's not your business, right? That's how Safari is. Safari is like a modern car, whereas Chrome is more like, where we could get in and do stuff. But that level of unwieldiness is also what makes them dangerous. That's why you've seen people doing things like putting a Cummins diesel in a Mustang, which is psycho, but I've seen it. Anyway, there you go.
I mean, most people, if they use Chrome, they still have Safari as the default browser. So if you happen to click on a link in an email, Safari is going to open it, and you're going to be under Safari's security rather than Chrome's openness.
Yes. And there's a cool Mac application I have on my computer. It's called Velha. It basically allows you to open whichever, this right here. It allows you to open whichever links you want in whichever software. So when, you know what I mean? Like currently, my go-to browsers are Safari and Microsoft Edge, Bing, ChatGPT built into Bing, that's why. And Edge is way faster than Chrome anyway, but you can tell it which links you click on, open which browser, and so you can set it to do Safari all day long, but when I get a request to be a guest, it will automatically open the link up in Chrome, and it's free. And so there it is. It's called Velha Browser Picker. And let me copy this link, and then I'll paste it in.
You're going to beat me.
Bam, take that, Paul. See, yeah, there you go. You fully get it, right? As a car stereo guy, right, the business is almost dead, but not really, because I'm looking for some good speakers for my 2010 Tacoma, Eric, so don't run away. I'm going to send me an email so I can get some advice from you. I've been deciding on whether I should go 3-way with crossovers or just stick to 2 ways and not change the tweeters that are in the top of the door. That's funny. Because you're right. That's another business. Man, I was all into that stuff back in the day, like including learning how to do the Fosgate method for displacement in speakers. And then car stereos got good, so I just stopped messing with it because it used to be hours in the garage upside down with, twisting wires with a drill. Crazy. Anyway, so Jamie, back to your question. Whatever your eyes love, we don't care. Like, it's really not about it. I'm using 2 LGs. This one is an ultra fine 4K. This one is that weird LG dual up where it's kind of a square. I love this monitor, by the way, but it's really swanky. But yeah, we really don't care. That's completely up to you. You do you, boo, as we say. But if it was up to me, I would tell everybody it's the Apple monitor because that thing's beautiful.
Yes.
How to get remote assist. Yeah, it just turns out you can't even do that kind of stuff in there.
No. Have to use Safari.
Man, that was a good question though, Eric, because again, it's one of those things you assume everybody knows, but I don't think people hear in the news or they don't listen to. See, I listen to tech news, so I just assume everybody else heard it. That's why Facebook was trying so hard to sue Apple because Apple ruined their advertising business of spying on people, right? And because Safari is so locked down, now it says, do you want to let these people know everything you do? Because up until you saw that notification, they were. You just didn't know it, right? So, yes, very cool. Oh, Al said he installed car stereos for a couple years, too. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're doing something and you're in Safari and it doesn't work, switch to Chrome. Chances are it will work just because no security.
You know what you just did, right? I'm about to start. Chances are if you wear a silly grin. Sorry. Anyway, so here's your sound effects area. Again, similar things. You click on the little thing, you'll get a pop-up down here. Allows you to add a hotkey. You can adjust the individual levels for each track. This allows you to loop a track, and this allows you to add it to a scene.
DJ Doc
You can do that, and then Rich always complains that's loud, so then I can go smaller.
DJ Doc
Raise that. I can add a high key, so I just type R. There you go. You see what I mean? So you can do things like that. And you can put songs in folders. And yeah, sound effects is super simple. The main thing is to notice the clock down here, right? Whenever you play a sound, it tells you how long you got. And it all comes through the sound effects sound window. The last thing I want to show you before I go, because my voice is getting super angry.
Comments?
Yes. All right. So we have to do this because then Paul, I just want y'all to know that Paul's not an absolute. Yeah, he is kind of bell-end. But the reason why Paul is so evil about the ask your questions the way he says to ask the questions, I saw it up here in the beginning. You were slow with it today.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? There it is. The reason why Paul is always telling you to ask your questions like this, because when I'm looking for stuff in here and you guys are positing questions, like right here, like the weekly wrap up, if I didn't see it, I would have completely missed it. But if you do the Q colon, I can come here and go Q colon, and then now I can see all the questions, right? So when Marcus puts his thing in there like that, I will be able to see it. So it's helpful if you actually do your questions that particular way. I could also go in here and do like that, because I know we were talking about Stream Deck stuff. You know what I mean? I can even cut it all the way down, so I can go back to that. If someone had a question about audio, I can check, and there was, just a comment in this particular case from Al. But this is why we always tell you to throw those Q colons, because it helps us find the comments later. The other things that I can do is like, okay, Eric's question was a good question, right? So I could check that. I might want to come back to that. Then if I was explaining this deeper, I can go to that. And then I can go to Jamie's questions. So when I get to the end, I get like, as we were doing the stream, I selected a couple questions I want to go through right now. So to Jamie Hayes, good to see you. From down under, doesn't matter. You can say, answer that question. Once I'm done with Jamie's question, I can turn off the star, and then I can go. So Command K is actually pulling from our own program, but each program calls the API for where that question came from, because that's the only way it works. Like whenever a question shows up in your comments and reaction box, that has already been pulled in from the API into Ecamm. That's what it is. It is a application program interface. It basically allows programs to share data. API is just a way for programs to share data between each other. So when you make a comment on Facebook, the Facebook API allows Ecamm to put it into the little box down on the bottom of my screen that says comments and reaction. Once we click here, that's us, right? But the information was handed in a certain way, and then we format it, but we don't have always access to reformat it. You know what I mean? So we got to display what we got. Some cases, depending on the exact right set of parameters, we do have the ability to reformat it. On other places, we don't. So there's that. So, boof, out of there. And then same with Eric. We already answered that question, but boom. Oh, yeah. I know what I was going to show you because Eric brought it up. Guys, I'm going to tell you my go-to browser right now. It's just super dope. And I highly suggest you take a look. So there it is. Check this out. This thing is dope because, let me get rid of my filter. It allows you to use Safari, but you can add Chrome, like, what do you call those things? Extensions. So it's as tight as Safari because it's WebKit instead of Chromium. But, you know what I mean? You could actually, it blocks first-party ads automatically, blocks trackers automatically. They lied about this because Safari blocks all of that. Blocks third-party by default, absolutely. but it also allows you to run Chrome and Firefox extensions. So it's kind of cool. It's really cool. Who the heck is Velma? The girl from Scooby-Doo? Would and Bertha will stay and stay. Oh, wait, that's Tom Swift. Tom Swift. Tom Swift. Oh, wait. Why is there only Paul? I kicked my own self off the stream. There you go. All right, gang. It's still Paul.
I'm taking over.
Oh my God. It's the Paul stream. That does it. My voice is done. I tried to hang in there like Swimmer. My voice is complete hash. If you guys have any questions, comments, feedback, whatever, send us an email, marketing@ecamm.com, or email me directly, doc@ecamm.com. Hope we were able to answer a bunch of your demo stuffs. Don't forget to pop the thumbsies ups on the likes in the way out. And then, yeah, man, great questions today. You guys actually threw some pretty awesome stuff out there. So this is why we do this every Friday, because even though we do this demo all the time, we always come up with new stuff or new ways to try things or new ways to see things. And if it wasn't for Unquestionable TV, I completely forgot about why I made my avatar the way I made it. Because that was way, way back in the day. Like when I first figured that out, that was probably like almost 3 years ago when I first made that, and I completely forgot about it. So you kind of like helped me remember why I did it that way. Thank you, George. I appreciate you. And she said autocorrect. It's Veod. Yeah, it's a Mac only app at the moment. Hopefully they will make a phone one, but phones kind of do that by default. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mr. Paul, for jumping in. I will see you guys on the flip. And I got to spend the whole day saying nothing so I can do a stream tomorrow. Never happened.
Good luck.
Peace out, people. Aloha.
Bye.
Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. It's a jam of the Ecamm fam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.